Magda, congratulations on reaching your first Grand Slam semi-final. What are the emotions you're feeling right now?
I'm actually tired, but yeah, it's good. I'm quite calm, surprisingly. So that helped me last time, and I think that's also like a good way for the next one, especially that we're playing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll start the questions in English. Howard.
Hi.
You did a lot of things well today. What do you think you did the best?
I think just staying composed, really, mentally. When it was really tough on my serve, she was getting very aggressive. And my first serve wasn't always there. I think I did really well to not to panic and still stay in the rally and go for the shots when I had the chance. So that was, I think, something I did the best.
Making the semifinals, being calm, why do you think you have been able to maintain this level of calmness despite posting, these career best results at the majors?
I don't know. Maybe I still don't really believe it. I don't know. I think also I had so much experience on those big courts before, because almost every Grand Slam I ended up on a big court one way or another. I played so many big players already, and it's just nothing really new for me. It's just another match. Of course, it's way more far in a draw, but still, it kind of feels the same, because usually I played Karolina in the first rounds already twice at the US Open, so it just feels quite normal.
Too many.
2 years ago, you withdrew from this event with the knee injury. Just wondering if, I know you've talked about it before, but could you explain what that experience was like for you with the knee and how you recovered from it, and just the journey from that?
Yeah, it was honestly the most painful experience in my life, I think. Especially because I couldn't be, nobody could diagnose me for almost 17 weeks, 11 weeks. So I was out for a total of 5 months, and it was something really basic at the end of the day. I had a meniscus surgery, but it happened way ahead of the Australian Open, but just because it was kind of tricky where the injury was. Nobody could really see what was happening, and we really tried to avoid the surgery. We thought we got it, and then literally one day before my flight, the pain and the uncomfortable feeling that I had at the time came back with some extra force. I felt really bad, and I made that decision, okay, there's no way I can walk, not even thinking about the Australian Open. So I came back, did the surgery, basically next day withdrew, had already my flight, had my hotel room, listened to everybody complaining about the isolation, and I was so jealous that they had to do it, because I really wanted to be there. But I came back within 6 weeks. I was very determined to come back as soon as I can. I rushed it a little bit too much. But I was back in competition in 6 weeks. And and since then, it wasn't easy, because this time was very painful, and a lot of things were happening in my personal life. But it definitely changed a lot for me. I became a little bit calmer. I changed a lot in my life and made some tough decisions, and I think I'm getting rewarded for it now.
Why did that make you calmer?
Why that? Because I think it couldn't be really worse, right? I honestly didn't play for 5 months, was dropping my ranking, and also was dropping points from pandemic times. So I didn't really want to freeze my ranking, because that would mean another month for me to be out of competition. And I was just worried I'm going to go out of 100, and I wasn't sure if I can really do it. I felt, okay, I'm not that young anymore. If I drop out, I need to go a level down to ITFs. I don't know what's going to happen. And then basically finished with my long-time coach for it was the decision from one day to another. So kind of was on my own as well. And in a way, I felt kind of okay with the fact that I might be done soon. And I think that gave me a little bit more space to build everything from the beginning.
Anything else in English, Courtney?
I believe are you working with Ian and Mark still? Is that who's in your box? Just talk a little bit about your team. And I know in the last press conference you talked about a lot of the mental work that you guys have worked together collectively. What is that like? What have they brought to your game?
Well, I worked with Mark for already quite some time. We had that 1 year break, and then we came back, which I was really happy about because I always valued his knowledge so much. And I was happy that I could build my team from the beginning again and start again, because I felt once we finished, we weren't really done. And I always had that feeling somewhere deep inside. So I was, first of all, really happy that he came back, because he's very knowledgeable coach. Like, he really can coach at any level, any kind of player, and he can teach a kid, the beginnings, but he can also, improve so much the player on the top. So he's so versatile. And then I have Ian, that is so experienced and bring a lot of calmness in our team, brings a little bit different perspective. And I feel like they have this amazing communication, because it's so much up to them, really, right? That one is not really stepping on another one. And I think I'm really grateful for them being so good at communicating and never making me feel, okay, I have to choose one of them. So I think that's very special, and not many people can have that, and I'm really lucky with that.
And then just in terms of this fortnight so far, onto the semis, what's been the most satisfying thing of this last 2 weeks so far?
Honestly, that all the work that we've done, we had like so many tough times. We went for 125s last year, and we had some tough losses. We knew that we are on a really good path. We saw that I was improving and playing so much better. But obviously, when you still go on 125s and you sometimes lose still there, it's still difficult, and we knew we were doing really good. So I think this is huge reward for not only me, but also for them, that they see that they're doing really amazing job, and it was really worth it going through those tough moments. It kind of boosts all of us, because they also need the reward.
Towards the end of last year, did it feel? At what point did it feel like momentum was really building for you?
Yeah, and I think it was in a way nice that I kept playing, because I was tired and it was really hard to push myself to do it. I was really doubting a lot of things, because physically I'm not 20-year-old girl anymore. I'm really feeling it now when I play too much. So I think pushing myself was really hard, and I was really kind of trying to resist, but they kind of pushed me, come on, like, we want to change a little bit, that you play a bit longer, you don't have such a long break. And we want to just try something new, because you never had this opportunity. Now with Billie Jean King Cup finals, that was possible. And it worked. I mean, I really felt the difference. I felt I did not really go out of that competition kind of zone. But on the other hand, we still had 4 weeks, so I got fresh, and we really decreased the amount of mostly time on the court. I still did quite a lot of physically, but I never got to the point when I was tired. And I think in my previous pre-seasons, I got a little bit too much, and I was just not as fresh.
Okay, we'll do 1 or 2 more in English, Howard.
Curious, have you been watching at all this other quarterfinal?
Yeah, I did a little bit in the ice bath.
If it is Arena who you wind up playing, what do you think for you will be the key in that matchup?
I will need to speak with my coaches. My last encounter wasn't the best at the Olympics. So I think I have really a big room there, because it honestly can't be any worse than the last one. I will just try what I'm doing this whole week. I'm being very consistent. I'm returning really well and keeping my serves. And I think she'll be, just a little bit more consistent version of being aggressive on every single shot. And I'll just need to serve really well again. And I'll try to do my best on the return. And I've been doing that pretty well last two matches, especially when the opponent was kind of similar.
Okay, last one, yeah.
Half of the quarterfinalists were Players' Council members, and saw the tweets kind of going back and forth, you all supporting each other. Obviously, Vika's in. Now you, Donna's still out there trying to make it. But what has that kind of meant? It's been fun for the rest of us to think maybe there's a Players' Council bump.
Yeah, we saw it. We appreciated your tweet. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's my first time in a Player Council, and it at some level was a little bit too draining, I felt, because we had so much work to do in the last year and a half. It was definitely much more than I thought it's going to be, and much more frustrating than I thought that's going to be. But on the other hand, first time I felt we have this camaraderie between each other. Like, we basically are on the chat together all the time, every single day. Like, I'm finishing practices and sometimes we have like over 200 messages. Yeah, so like we really communicate a lot, and I think that was also helping me to be a part of something, and it feels nice because I felt I've never really made too many friends on my own. Usually it was my coaching staff that was more outgoing than me. So I think for once it just feels nice that I feel like I'm doing more myself.